Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a really fundamental DevOps skill, getting one single server to securely host multiple completely separate websites. We're going to take one machine and turn it into a home for two different fully encrypted domains. This is a core concept you've just got to know if you're managing web infrastructure.
So how do you actually do it? How do you efficiently manage different web domains, each with its own content and its own secure connection, all from a single box? Well, that is the big question, right? And it's exactly what we're going to break down step by step.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're laying the server foundation. Then, we'll forge our own SSL certificate so we can really see how the security works. After that, we're creating our virtual hosts, actually building the websites, and then, the fun part, going live and testing. And to wrap it all up, we'll dive into some pro tips and next steps.
All right, first things first. We've got to lay the server foundation. This is all about getting Apache, the workhorse of the internet, installed and opening that first door to the web.
Okay, these two commands right here are our starting point. The first one, dnf install httpd, well, that's pretty straightforward. It just installs the Apache software. Now, the second one is a pretty cool shortcut. It does two things at once. It starts Apache right now, and it also enables it so it'll automatically launch every time the server reboots. Super handy. So Apache is running, it's listening, but there's a problem. By default, the server's firewall is basically acting like a bouncer at a club, and it's not letting anyone in. This first command tells that bouncer, hey, it's cool, let the regular web traffic through on port 80. Then the second command, -reload, just makes sure that new rule is active immediately.
Okay, foundation's in place. Now for the really important part, security. To get that little padlock in the browser, we need an SSL certificate. For this lab, we're going to create our own, which is the perfect way to see how all the pieces fit together.
Yeah, I know that OpenSSL command looks a little intimidating, but let's break it down. It's actually doing something pretty simple. It's creating two critical files, a private key, which the server keeps totally secret, and a public certificate, which it shows to browsers. That -x509 part just means we're creating a self-signed certificate. For our lab, we're basically acting as our own security guard, saying, yep, I trust me. Now, when you run that command, it's going to ask you a bunch of questions. Listen up, because this part is absolutely critical. You will see a prompt for common name. You have to put your primary domain name there, like www.shahzaib.com. If you get this wrong, it's just not going to work. Browsers will throw a fit. Everything else? For this lab, you can just hit enter and leave it all blank. Okay, we have a running server. We've got a security certificate. So how do we tell Apache to handle two different websites? We need to build separate rooms for each site, and the way we do that is with something called virtual hosts. So what the heck is a virtual host? You know, the easiest way to think about it is like this. Your server is a big apartment building. A virtual host is like putting a number on each apartment door. So when a visitor shows up looking for, say, shahzaib.com, Apache knows exactly which door to send them to. It keeps everyone's stuff nice and separate. And this is what it looks like in the real world, the actual config file. You can see two totally separate blocks here, right? One for each website. Each one has a server name, that's the label on the door. It points to the SSL certificate files we just made, and this is key, it has a unique document root. That's just the specific folder where this site's files actually live. Before we go any further, here's a pro tip. And trust me, this one will save you so much pain later. Before you ever restart Apache after making a change, always run sudo httpd-t. It's a syntax checker. It basically proofreads your file for typos. If it says syntax okay, you're good to go. If not, it'll tell you exactly where you messed up so you don't accidentally take down your whole web server. All right, so we've told Apache where to find the websites, but those folders don't even exist yet. So next up, we're going to actually build the websites by adding content and, very importantly, setting the security contexts.
So first, we use mkdir to create those two document root directories we just defined in our config file. Then, we use a simple echo command to pop a little index.html file into each one, each with a different message. That way, when we test it later, we'll know for sure which site we're actually looking at.
Now for a step that trips up so many people. Seriously. Modern Linux has this extra security layer called SE Linux, and it is strict. Just creating the folders is not enough. We have to explicitly tell SE Linux, hey, these new folders, they're legit web content. This restoreCon command does exactly that. If you forget this step,
You will pull your hair out wondering why you're getting a 403 forbidden error, even when your Apache config is perfect.
We are in the home stretch. We're ready to go live and test this thing out. All we need to do is make one final firewall rule and do a quick DNS check.
Okay, 3 last things. First, just like we opened the firewall for HTTP, we now have to do the same for secure HTTPS. Next, for our test, we're going to use a cool little trick and edit our local hosts file. This basically tricks our own computer into resolving our domain names to our server's IP so we can test without real DNS. And finally, one last restart of Apache to make all our changes live.
All right, the moment of truth. Open up your browser and go to your first domain using HTTPS. Now, you're going to see a big, scary security warning. Don't panic. This is totally expected. It's just because we used our own self-signed certificate. Just click to proceed past the warning, and you should see the content for your first site. Then do the exact same thing for your second domain to make sure it's all working.
So let's do a super quick recap. We installed Apache, we generated our certificate, we created the virtual hosts file, we made the website folders, and ran restorecon, we opened the firewall for HTTPS, and finally we restarted and tested. Boom! That's the whole workflow.
Fantastic! We've successfully built a multi-site server in a lab. But taking this from a lab to the real world, that requires a few critical changes. Let's talk about how to take these skills pro.
Okay, this slide is vital. In production, you would never use a self-signed certificate like we did. Each domain needs its own trusted one, and you'd use a real DNS service, not our little hosts file trick. But those good habits we practiced, like validating your config with HTTPD-T and setting SE Linux contexts, yeah, you do those every single time. So how do you get those real certificates? Well, the go-to answer these days is an amazing service called Let's Encrypt. It gives you free, trusted SSL certificates that every browser recognizes. Even better, a tool called CertBot can completely automate getting and even renewing them. It's a real game changer. So, if you take away one golden rule from all this, let it be this: always validate and always test. Make HTTPD-T and restorecon your best friends. These habits are what separate the pros from the people who are constantly fixing broken servers.
So there you have it. You now have the fundamental skill to take a single server and securely host multiple projects on it. You understand the entire flow, from install and config, all the way to security and testing. So that just leaves one question. Now that you've got this power, what are you going to build next?